every WSL event last year, Nathan Florence, either the week before or the week after, upstaged it by getting better waves and surfing them better.
Welcome to the Insiders, listeners. This is our numero uno Insider podcast for 2024. How are you, Matty?
Yeah, good. Feeling good. Waves on the way for the UK. I know it's been pumping your way. It pumped today, and it's looking like for the first time we've got like a solid, like maybe like a week and a bit worth of swell. So I am all good.
I'm on day 3 of a dry run
Oh, far out.
on
Actually, so
booze.
am
I mean,
I. Because I
and
surfed from the 27th of this December until the 1st of January. I surfed every day. And then when was that? That was Monday. And then yeah, Tuesday, Wednesday, today's Thursday. Haven't surfed.
it's good to hear how surf stoked you are because I'm talking about 3 days off the piss.
Oh.
I'm as dry as it. I'm trying for dry January, man. But tomorrow's Friday night. We'll just see. We'll just see how I manage.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'm all good. Actually, on top of that, I've ordered 2 new surfboards as well. So
Oh, we'll see.
um
Yeah, I told you I ordered a brand new 8. I don't know if I get 810 or 811 resin tinted gun off Bradley.
yeah. What colour?
I think I'm going back to my signature red bottom turquoise
Yeah,
emerald green.
I
I
like it.
just love
That would look good.
it. I didn't surf today. I went down to the my winter one of my winter spots, and it was like 15 foot and kind of just not really like the waves didn't look like good. I was looking there, I was like, there's no one out. And then like I seen this guy out. He looked like he was at New York, nearly. Huh?
Yeah.
And then I seen this other guy, Peo Lizarazu, who's like ex-legend. Well, he's not like he's a legend down here. Like charges. And he was there looking and he was like, yeah, it's not. And then I went and checked another spot and it was too big, it was too rippy, and I just wasn't feeling it anymore. I was like, there's 2 hours of paddle out there for maybe not even a wave. And I drove away from it. And then I went, did stock take. I'm helping them with stock take at Euroglass Bell surfboards. And then the wind stopped and kind of it was supposed to be onshore in the afternoon. It got lighter. And I was going to walk out on them. And like a few of the young guys were going, you can't just walk out during the day. And I was going, you watch me. And then for them, and then maybe lucky for me because might have been a bit of a low blow to them. The wind went onshore, so I didn't walk out.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's been a bit it's been decent here, but windy. But I've been finding some corners, and then yeah, looking like the weekend should be really good. Um, and then next week it's gonna be freezing. It's like easterly winds, but that's perfect for here. It's gonna be
But we've got the same. We're facing the same way, bro.
yeah,
We've got the same thing coming from next Tuesday, Wednesday. All the crew have been talking about. If you guys are any of the Aussies listening in Queensland, you just can't really understand. But like I saw maximum 4, but then on the Wednesday it's like 2.2 meters at 16, 17 seconds at the
yeah,
moment. So,
it's gonna be massive. Like it's gonna be
and then but then we've got 2 or 3, 4, 5, 6 days after that, just all on the cook,
yeah,
freezing on the cook.
perfectly in time for your new Wetty.
Yeah, so hey, I'm going into Whistler tomorrow. So I had a word to my old mate, Big Boss obviously Europe, who was big boss Billabong for many years, and like they've got this new Weddy. It's got that. Have you seen it? It's like
I've seen
a
it. It's
used.
the axe ones. Yeah.
Yeah, so this mate of mine was like, "Oh, they're killing," and I was going, "Look, man, I'll try and get you on the potty. We're going to try and get him on." And he goes, "Oh yeah," and I said, "I'll test it for you." And he's like, "Yeah, no worries." And he goes, "Come in tomorrow morning." Now, 4-3 hood. It's with a hood. 4-3 or 5-3. I think I have to go 5-3. 5 for 3.
Yeah. I mean, apparently with that new zip, it's a little bit warmer. I'm not sure, but or maybe
I'm
it's a little bit
interested
more
to
flexible as
see.
well. So if it's extra
That's
flex,
what they reckon because they got less. They got less flaps up near your shoulder.
yeah.
But like,
So that means it's
it's
more
maximum
flexible.
4. Our water's not as cold as down there, but if it's 0 outside, man, with offshore winds,
Yeah,
you need as much rubber as you can have.
for sure. I mean, like I literally was talking to my mate who's not in Cornwall, and I'm still in I'm in a 4-3 hooded 4-3 with boots, no gloves,
Integrated hood.
integrated hood. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that's what I'm getting tomorrow because I've just been in. We've got warm water. It's been more like we were at 14 still.
yeah. We're at 12, so yeah.
Hey, 12,
We
even 12. I
with
think we
that,
get to 11.
yeah, and
What
with
do you
that,
guys get to?
huh?
What do you get to in full winter?
In Cornwall, I think it maybe drops to like 8 or 9. It doesn't really get like super cold.
Still, that's still pretty cold.
Yeah, well,
Anyway,
but yeah, and it was so
we've
one of my new boards I've ordered. I've actually ordered in a polyola blank, so it's like
I've seen them.
yeah, 70% recycled. It's like the most eco blank, and then I'm gonna have like the
Like a light creamy brown.
yeah, good like, Grazy who's works at Skin Dog. He's like the sickest resin guy. Like we're gonna do a super cool resin on it, and I'll post it and stuff. But the blanks feel really good. Ben came third, and when Ben surfed Malibu and came third in the world, he was on the Polyola board, like, and people didn't know. Um,
Sounds
anyway,
cool too. Polyola.
yeah.
Polyola.
Anyway, we've got bigger things to discuss.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to get to. I wanted to get to. It's just fun. Hey, did you see the global world meltdown by Kelia Moniz? Moniz.
I did. I saw. So
Seth and Josh's sister, Tony's daughter.
yeah, and I mean, I love it. I love the way she's done it, and I love that she's done it. But like, I do think that there's a whole bigger discussion to be had about it as well.
I mean, I thought it's unreal too. I just think it's fun. It's always good to see someone spit the dummy. Like, if someone gets sacked and they just rip into someone. But I don't know. There's 1,000 ways to look at it. And like I didn't even know. I met her once at Euroglass many, many years ago. And like I didn't talk to her or anything. And I think she kind of snubbed me. I was saying hello because they're kind of a bit cool. Back at the time, the young Roxy girls and everything. I used to see them at Quickie. They were the two coolest for school gang you've ever seen in your life. Which
Yeah,
I don't know if it brings any context. Not necessarily. It's just like I know a ton of other people at Quiksilver, which was called Nepali, it was actually started with Quiksilver and then it was Quiksilver and Roxy. Then it went to Quiksilver Roxy in DC. They bought DC. Then they bought a golf brand called Oakland or something. Then they had Lip Tech. Then they had GNU. Then they had who else? Then they had Tony Hawk. Had all this. And I've seen a ton of people sacked over the years. A ton of people. A ton of people. And if you got 18 years out of them with a pretty good wicket, I kind of think she's pretty lucky. I think she's pretty lucky. I still think it kind of sucks from how, like, she got offered a contract and then they cut it short. And like obviously it sucks that venture capitalists get involved, and then like this big brands group. But that's what it was from the start. They floated it on the public, on the stock exchange so many years ago. So honestly, Soul went out the window back then. It didn't go out the window last year. Come on.
No, well, can you
Like they
remember?
were getting paid. Sorry, I'll just finish and then pass the rant to you. Sorry. Really sorry. Because the point I wanted to make was they were getting paid. Kelly was getting paid, and these other people were getting paid to make surfing more popular, which really for a lot of people means you're taking the soul out of surfing.
Yeah,
You know,
I mean, for me, there's a
can't
few
have
things.
fun.
Yeah, like, can you remember when Quickie dropped Kelly because they
Oh
wanted
fuck
like
yeah, of course I can.
that CEO wanted to give him a pay
I
cut,
literally didn't believe it was true.
and I remember he done the. It was at the Margaret River event that it kind of all came out, and you know, it makes me wish like more people done what she's done in terms of they're honest when they break from a like I want to know what are the ins and outs with Leo breaking with Quickie because obviously there's kind of like a weird tie there with Belly and everything like that, and I
Yeah.
want to know the ins and outs of Jack Freestone got dropped from Billabong. Was there something weird about that? Who knows? Like
That's the whole exciting part about gossip.
I think it's really cool that she aired it the way she did, her whole life is kind of made public by herself, like, and that's her choice, which is cool. But like, I think it's good that it's not all like, well, I'm going to promote this brand, and then when they're not paying me, I'm just not going to talk about them. She's kind of shown that side of it. But I completely agree with you with the soul thing in terms of like, you know, there's so many things in surfing that have that fake soul about them anyway. People don't know like if they don't know the full ins and outs, but they don't know that these huge companies own them, and that look at the WSL. Like Eric Logan doesn't surf, and he ran it for how long? Like I know he's sacked now, but it was
Well,
the World Surf League wasn't run by surfers, still isn't like in a way. Um, so there's a lot of it in surfing, but I do like the
well,
transparency of it.
I, I did too. But I think, like, for example, she said there's no way that they can fake the realness of what these girls had on Roxy. And I say, yes, they can. I
Yeah,
say, I say that's the easiest thing they can do, to tell
yeah,
you the truth. Because before her, and not necessarily before Lisa Anderson, they had this girl on the books for a few years, Veronica Kay, who was a blonde, full Roxy girl on decent pay or whatever, and just traveled the world doing bikini shoots and all that. And she was a really minor, average kind of surfer on a longboard. Like, just had a look and just faked they just faked the whole image around it. That's what marketing is.
yeah. I mean, you look at like loads and like there's loads of it right now. Like there's loads of people in the industry that should be getting paid because they're really, really talented surfers that are struggling, and there's people getting paid heaps of money who can't
Because
really
they're good
surf
looking.
well, but they're better at selling themselves or look better. You look at we discussed it on WhatsApp. Like up until this time last year, Callum Robson was like scrambling for Sponos, like, and he was on the world tour. And then there's people who, like surf decent but not world tour level, making 100K a year from surfing. And
It's it's never been fair, man. It's never been fair. I
but
mean, like it's a similar. I think it's a similar thing in like so many industries. It's not funny. Like you can be some really good at easing your way through a crowd in a big company, and all of a sudden you're into a great spot. Huh? You might be good looking. People want to hang out with you. You might have a famous name. Your uncle might have been like a rugby league star or a soccer star. Huh?
Yeah.
You talk, Matthew. My son wants to say something.
Yeah, I mean you're 100% right. Like the the way that the decisions are made is kind of strange. But I do picking up on Kelia and her post. The one thing I do like what she said about when when she said in her post, like, and it's not word for word, but she basically said if she was signing that contract and taking that 90% pay cut, she was she was setting the bar that that's okay to treat her or future surfers in that way. And I think that's completely fair. And you've seen that,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but
Like she's
I
like,
wish,
she's a you'd have to class her as an influencer now. Same with like Laura Enver and Coco Ho and all them. They've all got over 100, 500,000 like followers on Instagram. How does that relate? I mean, surely if you got that many, surely she can just make better money off Instagram than like someone who's a secretary or a guy who's a gardener, can't she?
yeah, for sure. But I think what it means is like, say, for example, you look at younger surfers who are really good, and the companies could pull these things out and say, well, this is what we pay Kelia, like, and it's like a 90% pay cut. So then it's setting that bar for them, which kind of, like she said, wouldn't be right. But on the flip side is like, I'm interested to see what she's done. And like I wanted to discuss with yourself, like, so involved in this whole thing, RUCA or RVCA, whichever way you look at it, they offered all of their surfers a good like a re-signing deal. And again, they're involved with the ABG group.
Thought that I heard that theirs was like 50% of their
Well,
old contract.
they would get, yeah, it's a 50%
Better
pay
than
cut but
10%,
over two
isn't it?
years. Yeah. So still a 50% pay cut, but over 2 years. So, but they were offered the 2 year contract. But they've all turned it down because, and now they've formed the new brand, which is Tenore, and they've just released it all, and it looks pretty sick. And
When
maybe
did they
that's the
release that?
start. They
When
actually
did they?
released it at the start of the first day of the Vans Pipe Masters.
Yeah,
Um,
but I saw him wearing some shorts. I didn't see anything else, but I haven't really
yeah,
investigated into that.
but it's like they got a sick team already. Like Billy Kemper, Jet Schilling, Noah Beshan, um, and a few others. Uh,
Where can you investigate that if you want to on the World Wide Web?
um, Not 100% sure. Maybe
Well, how
usually,
do you know they're on the team?
oh, because
How
they're
do
all
you know
wearing
Jack
it.
Schilling
Like
was on the team?
I've seen Jet Schilling wearing the shorts and the Rashi and Billy Kemper. Um, I would say like maybe look up Pat Tenore, who's the guy who
Oh,
founded.
exciting other news, as great as Tenore is. You see, did you hear Coco Ho and Harry Bryant are a couple?
No way, really?
There you go. I got him. I got him, listeners.
How did you
I
know
got him.
that?
He thinks he always knows more than the old dog.
Who? That's
Check their
interesting.
last. Go check their last few posts for clues. I've got my ears to the ground.
Ah,
She's the
well,
influencer. He's going on. You wanted to talk about. I wanted to say as well the Goodags, the three Goodag brothers got toasted
yeah,
off van. They did well too. Come on, 20 years. That's a pretty good run considering back in the day. As soon as you were knocked off tour, you were knocked
yeah,
off
true.
the team. They held on for that long. They didn't like 20 years. Same with Kelia. Like she was like world longboard champ, wasn't she?
Yeah,
Or twice. Did
yeah,
she
yeah,
see? She said it in the video.
yeah,
But
yeah.
when was the last one? 10 years ago? 5 years ago?
Yeah,
Maybe
I think
five might be
about
better.
5 years ago. Yeah, yeah,
Maybe her and the Goodacks could make up a new brand.
maybe. Yeah. Well, talking about
I rattled you then with the Coco Harry Bryant.
you have talking about the good eggs. I'd be interested if we've got any American listeners, which we already have, because obviously we're worldwide. But like, there's a lot of people in Europe that, I was with Dane in France when I was down in France in September, and I've spoke to Dane. He's a legend, absolute nicest guy at Froths.
Oh,
But
they're pretty nice, I tell you. I met them all at Euroglass. We used to make them boards.
like I was with Dane and we was walking down the beach and like, he was pretty unknown in Europe. And I know for a fact that he could walk through most like nearly everywhere in the UK and like no one would know who he is. But
No one would know who he is in Birmingham, would they?
nah. Um, but I would be really interested to see what their kind of reach is in America, because obviously America is such a bigger market and a way more like it's a bigger
Well,
surf market.
here's the thing. Like, have you got any Vans?
Yeah,
I had a couple of pairs of Vans, like black ones. I love the black slip-ons. And before, one of my best mates used to have RIP right now, used to have the original blue with white. And he told me you can, and this with I'm talking like 15 years ago, and he was like, you can only wear Vans if they're old and scuffy, because
yeah,
otherwise you look like a pilot, which is what we used to call an Oakley factory pilot for a kook. Which for the last 5 years, you see every single person on the street nearly wearing them, don't you?
yeah. I used to
Cities
have
everywhere. It was kind of like a little bit of a like I'm an offbeat person uniform.
yeah,
And that no longer is cool anymore. If you see everyone else wearing something, that's not cool. So
no,
like they just sold them everywhere. So of course now they're not. How do you go from on top of Everest? Where do you go next?
yeah, true.
Down.
And yeah, I'd be really, really interested to see like if the Godowski brothers ever actually were the reason someone was buying a pair of Vans.
Yeah. I mean, I thought they were cool. I used to think, fucking hell. Like, Fans has just got the best team, like, like just the coolest team.
They still do.
And
I mean,
like,
but, like
and
the thing, I was surfing the other day and I saw like six people. I reckon I saw 15 people surfing, and I reckon I saw 6 or 7 people in the Mikey February Vans wetsuit boot. Like he's got his own colorway of the boot, and like that's an influence. Like they are riding it because it's the Mikey Feb boot, like for sure.
oh,
Because
Mikey February's probably
um,
I thought he was like one of the most popular stylish surfers in the world at the moment.
he definitely is. He definitely is. But
Does that mean he can hold on to a contract with a company that's sinking?
for sure,
No, I don't think they're not going to disappear. But like, if you're going from,
they won't
let's
drop
just put it
Mikey.
out there, just say you're going from $500 million worth of sales a year to 200 million. That means if you've got five surfers, one surfer per 100
A
million,
million.
you got to cut it down to two, don't you?
Yeah. Mikey's going nowhere. Mikey will be the last one to go.
Don't
But
reckon Mikey's getting cut?
nah. Nathan Florence
I,
apparently is though.
I read or heard that he flown over to America trying to get a contract, trying to get his contract continued.
I
This
heard
is
that
all
Nathan
rumor
Florence is
based.
the next on the chopping board.
Yeah, we'll
Which
see. We'll see.
but that's the thing. If Nathan gets chopped, he's fine because he'll probably then just go on to John's brand and build that. So and he's got YouTube and all of that. So he's
Would that
fine.
be smart for John to put him on there?
Yeah, I think so.
Do you think?
Yeah.
would he not just then sponsor both Ivan as well?
Well, Ivan's with Van, so it depends if Ivan gets dropped as well.
They're all getting
But
dropped
but
then.
Ivan's kind of weird in a way because he's one of the only people in the world who is a world class surfer and a world class skater. So
And
he's like,
apparently a really good snowboarder because
yeah,
because I just saw Nathan Florence voted him in his top five
not
on the
John John.
stand on the Stabs surfer of the year, and he can do backflips on a snowboard.
And he didn't vote
You're
for
liking
John
the
John.
surfer of the year, aren't you?
Huh?
You're liking the surfer of the year
I
votes,
hate
aren't
it.
you?
It's
Even though
made
kind of, if you saw today's votes, it kind of came back into uh I don't know, something what you'd more expect because Toledo's back on top.
yeah, but I don't think I don't think Felipe was the best surfer of last year. Plus,
He hasn't
um,
won it yet, mate.
no, but also it just what annoys me is that it's they've said this is the 50 most influential surfers
Yeah,
or
well,
people in surfing
that's a
voted.
that's a loaded question, isn't it?
Fucking horseshit. Luke
Loaded
Seedman,
statement, I mean.
Raglan Surf Report is not in the top 50. Tosh Tudor is not in the top 50. You can suck my dick. Like, it's not, you're just not. Like,
You like Tosh Tudor.
huh?
You like Tosh Tudor. Oh, you mean people that yeah, yeah, I understand what you mean. People Joel Tudor or Tosh?
No, Tosh Tudor has been asked to vote. Like, is in the top 50 people in the world, is is Tosh Tudor in the top 50
More
most
relevant.
relevant in influential surf like people? No. Is Noah Beshan? No, of course he's not. Like where are the Europeans? Like how
Yeah.
how are you
I
asking these?
don't ask anyone. Yeah, it's not really worldwide, is it? You're not
No,
asking a Chilean.
like
So do you think it should be called top five stab surfers?
it's who does
Stab
Stab
gang.
like? Like who's made mates with Stab this year? Like why is Holly Wan getting a vote?
Give me your top five
Fucking hell.
combined.
Top five
Combined men and women in
for 20
five.
for 2023.
Yeah, yeah, but you've only got five, not 10.
Okay, so for 2023, I would say that um men's wise, I think Sean Manners.
Men and women, you got five
Yeah. But I'm
people.
just saying, I think Sean Manners is probably up there. I think that I would say Harry Bryant is probably up there. And and I would also throw Noah Dean up there because he's put like two or three edits out that have been mental. Um, and I'd also say like, straight up there, like Victor Bernardo, he's been so active this year, and his surfing always is sick. So I'd say Victor. Women's, um, I think Justine DuPont, 100%, like mental. Um, Moana Jones
So you're
Wong,
doing
like
five of each. You didn't listen to the question. You get thrown out of class, bro.
no, I did listen, but I've got the names coming off the top of my head. Moana Jones Wong, I think was sick. Um, Molly Picklum, I think Molly had a sick year, and Katie Simmers. Like I don't I I don't think because Felipe won a world title that he's the best surfer of last year. Because everyone knows he was surfing. Like, look at the waves last year; they were shit house. Like,
See, I'd say Torren Martin just because he just keeps doing it. Huh?
yeah,
Um, Caitlin Simmers, obviously, Moana Jones, uh, Ethan Ewing, because like there's nothing like it. Everyone said best rail surfing
yeah,
like
I
in
agree.
history. And I just don't understand how it can't be an undisputed number one Nathan Florence. I just don't understand how anyone
Oh
else
yeah,
thinks
yeah, true.
anyone anyone has even come close to what he did. I mean, last year.
Yeah,
It's
I
not
think that's
a
true.
case
Yeah,
of the best surf or whatever. He's just like
yeah. I mean,
it's
he
just
was.
like at least once or twice a month you could sit down and it'd be like when I was a kid. It was like on a Sunday night at 7:30 when the Bionic Man came on. I used to get so excited I nearly wet my pants. And the
But
Bionic
you're
Man, I just
100%
loved
right.
watching the Bionic Man. That's
Every
Nathan
time,
Florence for you.
yeah, every WSL event last year, Nathan Florence either the week before or the week after upstaged it by getting better waves and surfing them better. Like Nathan Florence surfed way better than Felipe Toledo did all last year. Philippe just surfed shit waves better than anyone else.
It's
Um,
kind of actually really been good for surfing that we've seen that it's not just competition that people care about, obviously.
yeah, well, it shows people you know,
Should
like,
it be who's the best?
but like, it's for me, it's like, who is the best surfer of the entire year? And like I completely agree with Nathan Florence. Like I'm saying, Victor Bernardo will be. No one will mention him, but he is almost as active and surfing way better waves than like 90% of people on the planet. Um, Torin,
I would have liked to given a special mention maybe to Jacob Wilcox.
yeah, like he put out a sick edit early last year, and he's made the world tour.
There you go.
Like,
Just the barrel wise, just some of those barrels. I mean, I think a lot of people forget it, and it depends on what um part of the ladder of surfing you're onto, but barrels are the holy grail.
yeah,
So that's the
but it,
pinnacle of it.
but this is the thing. The reason why I'm so like frustrated with this stab thing is because
That's
it's
why Tyron Martin's so good. He's surfing by
wait,
himself in that
shut up.
video.
The reason
By
I'm
himself.
the reason I'm so like agged out about this stab thing is that they carry so much weight. So when they put up the post and say this is Stab's Surfer of 2023, whoever it is, the vote, the people they're asking to vote aren't taking this seriously enough, like for how much weight it carries. And I would
I think
actually
you love I think the problem is you love Stab too much.
no,
And
it's not.
and
It's not
and
that I love Stab too much. It's that no one else is doing it. Like I wish there was a an entity that at like the Ballon d'Or in football is like it's almost like unquestionable.
yeah, but it isn't it got a jury of people that know what they're doing?
It's voted for by players. Each player gets 3 votes. So, but that's what Stab is saying. Stab is saying these are the 50 most knowledgeable, influential people in surfing. Creed McTaggart couldn't list 5 women, but then he named a junior girl who wasn't in his top 5 women. So surely you would put her in your women.
Did
If
he vote this year?
yeah, it just makes a
He
mockery of
couldn't
it.
even come up with five girls.
Fuck it.
Somewhere that might it's no, that's misogenic, but it could be cool the fact that he's just not watching anything, which actually means he's kind of real.
But he named 5 people that are
So they
female.
shouldn't pick him.
But like Luke Siedemann, Raglan Surf Report named Jacob Zikeli as his best junior male, right? And they let him enter that vote. He's not a junior. Like, what? Why Stab have allowed their own quite prestige or not prestigious, but quite like influential kind of property to become a joke and like an inside joke between their friends? It's fucked. And it's because Michael Ceramel is a shit editor in chief.
Well, there you go. I didn't even know some of those people who had even voted. But then again, I kind of just look at it late at night. But I told you I'm not subscribing next year anyway
You're
because
too
there's so
you're
many.
too you're too busy following Coco about.
Mate, I got two. No, I heard it on something. I got $2 a month, New York Times. I just wanted to read some news, even though it's American. I mean, there's a full international section, and I've got 6 months at $2 a month, unlimited articles. So then I don't have to read the limited amount of surf crap we've got out there. And and honestly, if I had a euro for every time I went on Wind Guru, I'd be a millionaire.
Me, me too with Surfline at the moment.
Be
Just
a millionaire. Surfline doesn't even know how to call the wind down here anyway. So
no.
and I there's my don't. Don't subscribe to Surfline and do subscribe to Tracks. Tracks is unreal. They've got a full library of old magazines that you can go onto. You can go through the 90s and look at magazines and press the magnifying glass plus thing, and you can, oh, it's fantastic. I'm in my own archivage, archival.
Like
Has that how
yeah,
you call it? Say it.
time machine.
I'm in a time machine, Matt. I'm going to have to say you've got
Well, well,
30
my
seconds to tell me something interesting before we get cut off. And thanks for listening to us this year, viewers.
my do's and
Listen,
don'ts, real
listeners as
quick,
well.
is don't. Oh, well, actually, no. Do commit if you're pulling off a wave because I was surfing and I kind of paddled for a wave that I wasn't like right for. Thought I'd pull off. It was kind of a big day. As I kicked over, I didn't like fully commit to kicking off of it, and then I got caught in the lip and got absolutely annihilated and looked like an idiot. So do commit.
Always commit and go. I saw a dude do that to a girl on Christmas Day, and she blew up at him. I know her, and she was right to blow up at him. And then
Yeah,
he had to suck back, and then someone else in the background blew up at him and told him he'd rip his head off. And I was thinking, it's Christmas, guys. Surf
yeah.
just drives people crazy.
So that's my do, and my don't is fuck. Don't buy anything from Quiksilver or Roxy.
Hey, don't. All fans,
Come to Skin Dog instead.
all fans. Anyone who sucks surfers, or just don't buy clothes. That's the future.
Yeah,
Surfboards, surf trips.
that's it.
Back to the basics. Au revoir.
Au revoir.